Alright, this is take two. And why am I saying this is take two? Because I'm just disheartened with what happened tonight in Harlem. And I have to sadly report tonight that we are now up to 5 NYPD officers shot. You heard me. Shot! In 2022. There are 8 million angry people tonight in New York City, including yours truly tonight. Even if you're not from New York City originally, you need to understand that you have every right to be angry. Every right to feel this frustration and bitterness and being irate tonight. You have every right to. To think that we've had a new mayor now for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And nothing has changed. And you have the mayor of New York City getting booed at a New York Knicks game. It shows that people are quickly turning against the mayor. The same people who voted him. And I'm sorry to make this political tonight. They are probably regretting not voting for Curtis Lewa. They are starting to quickly regret it. This video could not be waiting until tomorrow or Sunday. It has to be tonight. Alright? Because I'm trying to get Andy Plays recorded tomorrow. I have a couple overnight things I have to take care of. And I'm hoping I'm going to keep this video under a half hour. I think I can make it happen. Because tonight, we really have proven that we are now becoming like Detroit, like Chicago, like Philadelphia. Tonight is the turning point that we all need. This is it. This has to be it. Now more than ever, we have to support our NYPD. Everybody else in New York State, either this weekend or next week or anywhere else in this country, if you see a police officer, thank them this week. And tell them that you are doing a service not only to the community, but they're doing a service to this country. And do you honestly think that the President of the United States is paying attention to this? That somebody briefed Joe Biden that this happened tonight in Harlem? No! I said, all people in New York City tonight should be angry. If you are in Queens, if you are in Manhattan, if you are in the Bronx, if you are in Brooklyn, if you're in Staten Island, you have every right to be angry tonight. You have 100% the right to feel angry. So let's get into this AM New York article. I'm not going to read from Channel 1 because Channel 1 ignored stories as usual again, and we're going to get into that. So originally, the bad news was it was originally 2 officers dead. Sadly, I have to report tonight that we've had our first NYPD officer-involved shooting death in 2022. And I sadly have to report tonight that it was a 22-year-old male officer. This was according to NYPD Commissioner Keechant Sewell. All we know about the officer this evening was he was married and we know a lot of people tonight are mourning his loss. This officer was assigned to the 32nd Precinct in Upper Manhattan. And tonight, there was a briefing at Harlem's hospital. We do not know the identity of the officer this evening, but in the next couple of days, we are expected to know more about the officer's identity. Tonight, the head of the police benevolence is... I forget what the last A stands for. I'm just so mad, but... The union that represents the NYPD, head of it, tonight, said... This is what Pat Lynch said tonight. This is going to be a public funeral. So you know how sad this is to think that this is the turning point for the Police Benevolence Association Union. Now I remember what the A stands for. Trust me, this is raw emotion tonight. That's how upset I am about this. Okay, so here we go. So according to Chief of Detectives Jim Isaac pointed out the weapon used to shot both the officers was a .45 caliber Glock with a high magazine cartridge that could hold up to 40 bullets. The firearm was stolen from Baltimore, Maryland in 2017. So here's what we know. Earlier this evening at 6:15 p.m., a 911 call was sent out to a dispute that took place at an apartment building at 119 West 135th Street. The suspect, LaShawn McNeil, was arguing with his mother, according to the 911 call. It is too early to speculate at this time if the 911 tape will be leaked at this moment. The suspect was in a bedroom in the rear of the premises. Two of the officers in the apartment walked down a hallway to approach the room, and the third officer remained in the living room. So obviously that's why the officers were taken to NYC Health Hospital's Harlem. One officer dead, again, 22-year-old male cop. The other is in critical condition at this hour. There's a third officer that was also shot. We don't know the condition at this moment. LaShawn McNeil had previous other convictions. So we're not going to get into that because it'll just make this video even too long as it is. And then look at this. Another police officer shot in Staten Island. Where was Channel 1? Oh, yeah, we talked about that one. Right. We covered this one. The one that happened right by the funeral home where my great-uncle's funeral took place. That one. Yep. So just, again, very emotional. Tonight, we've heard from Governor Hochul. In fact, Channel 1 did give out a tweet link. Where is it? I thought they had a tweet. Okay, well, we'll just have to go on Twitter then. Okay, Kathy Hochul. Twitter. Thankfully, it comes up. So, thankfully, she did say something tonight. And you know, thoughts. I mean, is this the turning point where Kathy Hochul is now finally going to address gun violence in New York? I'm serious. I am calling on Governor Kathy Hochul next week to hold a public briefing on gun violence. Alright? It has to be done during the week. She can organize a briefing about it. I don't know why she can't rearrange her schedule. Also tonight, we heard from Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman. Let's see what he had to say about this. Hang on, that's not his official account. Yeah, his official account is at Nassau Executive. This is it. Pray for the family of the 2 NYPD officers murdered tonight in Harlem. The job of law enforcement is more dangerous than ever. Let us pray for the safety of the men and women who protect our families and communities. So, I believe they have the address. Let's see if we can look it up in Harlem where this happened. Okay, let's see. 119 West 135th Street. So we'll see what type of apartment building this was on Google Street View. Well, you cannot make this stuff up. This actually is right by the hospital. Yeah, that's Malcolm X Boulevard. I know exactly where this is. This is the apartment building. This is it right here. I mean, it looks like it has decent structure right here. Let's see how far back we can take a look. Wow, you can even go back as far back as 2009. Look at that. So that happened. But let's get into the other stories that Channel 1 didn't cover. So, let's take a look and see what there is to discuss tonight. Okay. Let's see what we can find. Well, they actually talk about homelessness. Alright, so let's see if we can find public safety. Okay, that's interesting. They actually have a 2-minute story on dash cam video, but anything about what happened in Ozone Park? Let's find out. That's an urgent story. Let's see. Let's go to Queens. Oh, look at this. They're actually covering Vicky Palladino. Look at this. Is she even vaccinated? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's up to her privacy, but still. We're not going to get into that right now, because I'm just so upset with what happened, and, you know. Yep, nothing about it. Nothing about it. Nope. So let's read this article. 11-year-old was trying to cross Lefferts Boulevard and struck by a vehicle. Oh, this is a hit and run. Unbelievable. Nasser Essa of 149th Street was arrested and charged with leaving the scene with serious injury and aggravated unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle. Essa was traveling eastbound on Lefferts Boulevard when he struck the boy who was crossing northbound on Lefferts Boulevard. EMS responded and transported the boy to Jamaica Hospital, where he remains in critical condition. Let's hope this kid's gonna be okay, but they do have this. They do have this picture, so let's take a look at Rockaway and Lefferts Boulevard. Let's Google it for a second. Let's see if we can pull it up. Ah, okay, so this is where it happened, right here. Right around here. Let's get a Google Street View of it. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty big street to cross. I mean, my goodness. Nope, Channel 1 didn't cover that. And then Channel 1 didn't even cover this. Tractor trailer breaks open its entire roof on the Jackie Robinson Parkway. And I know exactly where this happened. Park Lane. 18-wheel tractor trailer loaded with Canadian beef struck a westbound overpass on the Jackie Robinson Parkway in Queens earlier this morning, forcing police to close the roadway until the vehicle could be unloaded and cleared from the highway. No injuries were reported at the 10:45 a.m. crash at the Park Lane overpass next to Union Turnpike in... Oh, look at this. This is an awful typo. Yeah, they probably... Yeah, westbound. Yes, they probably had to shut down the exit from the Grand Central Parkway. And they probably had to shut down the other on-ramp from the Van Wyck. Oh, and then look at this. This was an 11-foot, 8-inch overpass shearing off the top of the truck and was scattering pieces all over the highway. A piece of the truck also struck an eastbound SUV driven by a woman, but she was uninjured by the crash. Okay. So the driver is going to get a summons for driving the truck onto the parkway. The truck itself was seriously damaged and hydraulic fluid dumped onto the roadway. Hazardous materials firefighters were on scene to contain the spill. Crews expected to take several hours to remove the vehicle from the highway. So there you go. So I'll show you where this was. Let's zoom out. Thankfully look for the Jackie Robinson Parkway right here. We'll pull it up. You can see it. Let's see if we can pull it up. Should be able to. Let's see. Yep. No, this is Markwood Place. Right, this is Park. Right, this is where Forest Park is. Yeah, so look at that. This is the most recent street view from December. I mean, look at this. Look how low this bridge is. There'd be no way a truck like that would be able to get underneath that. Okay. There's a lot of other stories in Queens. There are a lot of them. This is the same story, right? Alright, this is the same one that was on the Queen's Courier. Oh, look at this. They found a suspect who was accused of the Brooklyn school bus joyride. Anthony Reyes, 43, has been charged for the incident that took place back on December 2nd in East Flatbush. So they finally caught a suspect. Thank goodness. This guy better get a lengthy sentence. Okay, so the suspect was arraigned in Brooklyn. He's due back in court on March 11th, so... At least the good news is, in this exemption, they are holding him with bail. because he caused too many people to get hurt and he damaged a lot of property. And he also stole the school bus in the first place. So thank goodness. There's actually some good news tonight. I'm actually saying that. That's a rare thing to say now. Okay, so let's take a look at the police and fire very quickly. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Bank robbery. Bank robbery in Greenwich Village. And I'll read that other one that happened in the East Village, and then we'll get to Laura Ool. Okay, here we go. Failed Greenwich Village bank robbery. According to police, at 3:15 p.m. on Thursday, January 20th, the suspect entered a Wells Fargo bank located at 374 Avenue of the Americas. The crook approached a 21-year-old female bank teller, simulated that he had a firearm, and passed a note demanding cash. The victim refused, and the suspect fled on foot in an unknown direction. No currency was taken as a result. So they do have a video of him. We'll give you a description. So, looking for a white male, last seen wearing a Yankees baseball cap, blue face mask, last seen wearing a backpack, and with a green jacket, it looks like. You know, that's the problem. I have to give a description of a suspect, and yet AM New York refuses to do it. It's like, ugh. Alright, so let's look up where this bank was. 374 Avenue of the Americas. So let's pull it up. I might have an idea where this is, so let's just... Okay, 374. Pull it up. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. This is Wells Fargo, right? I think I know exactly where this is. Yep. I know exactly where this is. Right by Washington Square Park. Why aren't I surprised what's going on in my city right now? Why aren't I surprised? This is what's going on in my city. And I'll read this last one, because again, I don't want to go all night with this, because there is some stuff I got to read from Laura Ool. Alright, so here we go. According to police on January 2nd at 12:35 p.m., a 51-year-old man was walking in front of 154 West 14th Street when an unknown man bumped into him. The two then began to argue, and an unknown man pulled out a knife and slashed the victim. The suspect then fled the scene on foot southbound on 7th Avenue. The victim suffered a laceration to his arm and was taken to NYC Health Hospital's Bellevue in stable condition. The suspect is described as a man in his 30s with a dark complexion, black hair, 5 feet tall. He was last seen wearing a black coat, black pants, black boot, black sweater, multicolored scarf, white hat, and carrying a dark-colored book bag, according to NYPD Crime Stoppers. So here's a good look at him. So let's look this up. 154 West 14th Street. This is on the West Village Chelsea borderline. Oh boy. Yep. Guess what? Right by Channel 1 Studios. Yep, Chelsea Market's right there. That's where their studios are. Alright, so let's get to Laura Ool, because there is some stuff we gotta talk about. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This just happened tonight. Carjacking in East Elmhurst. I know exactly where this is. Astoria Boulevard and 100th Street, not too far from the airport. And you know where that is, folks? That's literally the bus that takes me right to Astoria Park from Flushing. Police reported a suspect robbed the mail in East Elmhurst after a carjacking. This is on Astoria Boulevard and 100th Street. Reported the driver was also robbed of items before taking off with the vehicle. EMS is checking for injuries, ongoing investigations. So, you have that going on tonight. We'll get to that in just a second. I want to read this. Yep, and obviously I put that comment there. Police reported 2 suspects in a vehicle stopped and robbed a mail in Oakland Gardens. This is the intersection of 230th Street and 73rd Avenue, and so it happened right by the public school. Reported one of the suspects displayed a gun. They took off personal items in the mail. Ongoing investigation. Oh, look at this. Now reporting the man robbed is a local resident standing outside of a home across Alley Pond Park. The vehicle had out-of-state paper plates. The 2 suspects are males, black, wearing all black, taking off westbound 73rd Avenue in a dark sedan vehicle. So, there might have been a slim chance they might have been coming down 73rd Avenue in Fresh Meadows tonight, for all we know. Yep. So that's what's going on. And this last one. From Queens to Nassau border, Jamaica Avenue went the most for assault, thefts, robberies, and muggings. Northern Boulevard was second, but had more sexual assaults from Woodside to Flushing. Hillside Avenue was placed third, and lastly Union Turnpike. However, Union Turnpike and that connects to Queens Boulevard and Kew Gardens reported 14 people robbed. This is according to January 2022. I mean, what else is there to say? What else is there to say? What's going on here? I mean, you just cannot make this stuff up. And obviously, Channel 1's not going to cover this because you know what they care about. I mean, they'll act like they'll care about the crime 1 minute, and then the next they'll just put it aside, and they'll focus too much about COVID, and they'll focus too much about politics. You know, same old from them. So, that's pretty much it. I'm done for tonight. I got it all out of my system, and, you know, I said, if I did this tomorrow, I would just be completely out of it. I wouldn't even be in any mood to do any plays, but did it tonight. I can actually get some sleep and just pray for our safety, and more importantly, just pray for the fact that, you know, I'm glad that my block has been quiet so far this year. I mean, thank goodness the cops haven't been called on my street this year, because things could change. I mean, it took later in 2021 for that first incident to happen where the female driver got pepper sprayed in her SUV. So, I could be jinxing it. I hope not. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and just pray for these officers tonight. That's it.